Hey, and welcome back to Landland's World. So today I'll be showing you guys how I make this delicious puff pastry dough. Let's get started. Okay, so the ingredients that we'll be using is going to be lime juice, butter, salt, water, and also our flour, of course. Now, we're just going to start off by adding in our salt. Then we're going to go ahead and pour in our butter. And we're just going to break this up until it gets into little crumbs into the flour. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our liquid, starting off with our lime juice. And then we're going to go ahead and slowly add in the water. As we add in the water into our mix, we're just going to go ahead and start to foam it into a ball so we can get a nice dough. Okay, so after mixing everything, now we're just going to go ahead and knead our dough. So you're going to go ahead and knead this dough for about 7 to 10 minutes until it's nice and soft. Once you're finished kneading the dough, you're going to notice that it's going to bounce back up once you press it. You see how it comes right up? That's how you know your dough is kneaded and good to go. So now we're just going to go ahead and slice it into 4. We're not going to slice all the way through. And we're just going to go ahead and wrap this in plastic wrap and put it into the fridge. Now onto the butter. Alright, so here we're starting with ice cold butter. This butter has been in the freezer for about 2 hours. And we're going to go ahead and grate the butter down just so it can be easier to work with. But remember, the butter has to be really cold because our hands are warm. After we go ahead and finish grate all the butter, now we're just going to go ahead and mix it. And we're just going to go ahead and shape it until we could get a nice square. We're going to go ahead and add in some flour to this butter as well. Now for the full ingredients that I use to make this puff pastry, you'll be able to find it down below in the description box. So don't forget to check the description box after watching the video. Now we're just going to go ahead and form the butter into one block. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want one whole block of butter. So after we got our block of butter, I went ahead and put it into a parchment paper, and now we're just going to go ahead and roll it down so we could get it nice and flat. Once we got a nice flat piece of butter, we're just going to go ahead and put this in a new parchment paper and then go ahead and put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and flour our surface again, and we're going to go ahead and take out our dough that we previously put in the fridge, and we're going to just go ahead and roll that out. When rolling the dough, we're going to use the 4 lines that we put in as a base so it could be easier to roll. So we roll, turn, and then roll, turn, and just keep repeating until you got a nice flat dough. Okay, so once you go ahead and roll it out, we're just going to go ahead and brush out all the excess flour, and then we're going to get our block of butter from the fridge, and we're going to go ahead and add it onto our dough. And now you're just going to go ahead and fold it in. Alright, so after folding in our butter, we're going to begin to go ahead and roll out the dough again with the butter inside. So just go ahead and make sure your butter is really cold so that it don't melt its way out, and begin to roll that out. After rolling out your butter and dough incorporated together, now we're just going to brush off the excess flour and we're going to go ahead and fold it again. And we're going to go ahead and mark it with 2 because this was the second fold, and place it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes up to an hour. Alright, so after about an hour, I went ahead and remember to always flour your surface before you start rolling. I took out our dough and now we're just going to go ahead and roll it out, and then we're going to fold it again and place it back into the refrigerator for another 30 minutes. And we're just going to repeat this step until we get a completed of 6 rolls. Alright, so I did go ahead and repeat the process for 6 times. Now I'm just rolling it out one more time just to show you guys how the puff pastry will look once it's nice and done. Now this is a timely task, so it do take a lot of patience and a lot of arm work, but it's worth it at the end with your nice fresh pastry dough. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half just to show you guys how the dough will look once it's finished. And there you have it, your puff pastry dough, where you see all the little lines, so that once you finish, bake it, that's all the layers. So every time we rolled and fold, it was just creating more and more layers for our puff pastries. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to wait until part 2 where I show you guys actually how to make Haitian patties. Bye!